Yes, guys. Yesterday we got the problem now was, yeah, it's purely because of versions. It's purely because of version. I sorted out the problem. You please check that. Versions, guys. I will give clear-cut notes of versions. Don't worry. Yeah, what is the servers we should start, guys? First, Eureka server. Yeah, I sorted out the problem. Version compatibility, guys. Version compatibility and one small error. Okay, I'll tell you. Java application. .0.2. Observe this. This is the latest one. I created Eureka server using latest one, right? Next, config server, which is linked with GitLab, guys, to get the common properties. Which is linked with the GitLab to get the latest version 3.0.2, right? Admin server. When you face this kind of problem, we have to work until solution comes. Discuss here and there, search in the internet. No option, no option. You have to fight. Admin server. This is also in latest version. Okay, guys. Next. Microservice 1. Microservice 1. Producer MS, guys. Run as Java application. This is consumer MS, boss. This is consumer MS, right? Super. Next. Both are in latest version 3.2.02, 3.0.02, right? Okay. Java application. Only Joule you take in 2.3.6, guys. Only Joule you take in old version. Super. What is the table we are having, guys? What is the table? Any idea? MS underscore MP underscore player, right? MS underscore MP underscore player. MS underscore MP underscore player. What is our table, guys? What is our table? Player. MS underscore IPL player. This is not ours, no? This is not ours. Okay. MS underscore MP underscore player, right? This is one. To avoid the confusion, I will empty the thing. Cannot be deleted because in player records are there. Nice. Okay, super boss. Open this, guys. Open this postman, guys. Postman. $715 mini project, team request 1, CSK 25 Srinivas. Srinivasan is the one. Okay. Yeah, post mode request, URL, body, raw, JSON, send request. Team and players are saved with ID value 52. Okay, fine. So don't worry about this one. Okay, go to this team player, guys. Say refresh. 52. Having 52 ID team information is inserted now, boss. Okay, now come back. Player request to. Player request to. Tell me. I'm giving player details. Just having team ID. Team ID should be what, guys? 52. Just having team ID. Okay, by submitting 52, it will get what? It will get entire team information, guys. It will get entire team information. Are you understanding my statement? And will link player with team. Will link player with team. Check it out. Post mode request, all this stuff, guys. Click on send button. Player is saved with ID value 1020. Check it out. Player is saved with ID value 1020. Player is saved or not, guys? Player is saved. Let me save another player, guys. Let me save another player. Who plays for this one? Ravindra Jadeja. Jadeja. Okay. All-rounder. All-rounder. Jersey number 8. Jersey number 8. 52. Click on send, guys. Jersey number 8. All-rounder. Any spell? Any problem in the spell? All-round. Yeah, it's right now, boss. It's right. It's right. Jadeja player number. What is the exception we are getting? 500 internal letter. Okay. Value is too large. Okay, got it. Value is too large, guys. Value is too large. That's a silly error. Size of the table was. Issue with the size of the table, right? Okay. Length 10 might be taken, guys. What is this? All in. Okay. All in. we'll take it all in, say, click on 1022 was. Come here. Look at the database, guys. Refresh. Why 1022? Why 1021 is not there? 1021 got wasted because of exception. Okay. See, now they are in relationship or not, guys? Now they are coming or not coming? Definitely coming. Okay, boss. So now, okay, let's go for add request, boss. Add request. Tell me HTTP localhost. HTTP localhost. HTTP localhost. What's the port number? 9900/API/team/API/find52. Just to get more request, guys. Team information is coming now, boss. Team information is coming now, boss. Yes, now, boss. Okay. Now have a look. MS, what are the other methods we are having in this MS? Save is there. And this is player. Player ID is also there. All is also there, guys. Okay, guys. Tell me this is what? Team request to. Team request to. Save. Next, add request, guys. Team request. Team request 3. No, I'm just trying to save all the requests. What is this? HTTP localhost 8800/API/API/. Okay. I think this will make it as player request, guys. /player/API. Click on send. Array, player is a team information. Again, player is a team information. Coming or not coming? Again, player is a team information. When I say all the information is coming or not coming? Okay. Sir, what is the problem? Versions issue, number one. Number two, here we have taken cascade is equal to all, guys. Cascade is equal to all we have taken, but you have to take merge. Cascade is equal to merge means cascade is equal to merge means what? If already there, insert. Already there, update. If not there, insert. So this merge is required. Rather this one. Yesterday foreign key not stored, but today it is stored. Check it out. Foreign key is what is there? Foreign key got stored or not? Okay. Fetch type can be lazy eager, that's not an issue. Fetch type can be lazy eager, that's not an issue. Major issue is cascade type is equal to merge. Clear? Okay. Now open the document, guys. Project 1 Eureka server. Spring Boot version is what, guys? Spring Boot version latest Eureka. Latest. In our computer, what is that? 3.0.2. 0.3. Super, guys. Tell me next one. No, entire code I will give, don't worry. Entire code I will give, don't worry about it. Java version, how much, guys? 17. Latest version. Next, Spring Cloud version. What is Spring Cloud version, guys? What we have taken from Spring Cloud version? Okay, Spring Cloud version 2022. When you get errors, don't give up. That's what I'm trying to say. Yes, boss. Okay, sometimes it will check your patience, guys. Like yesterday, I think first time it happened in our batch, right? Okay. Yes, boss. Next. Spring Cloud admin version. Spring Boot admin version. Oh. Spring Boot admin version. 2.2.2. Okay. MS project, guys. MS project. Take the latest version. MS project. Take the latest one. Okay. When it comes to Joule, guys, when it comes to Joule, here clearly highlighted. When it comes to Joule, things are clearly highlighted. Check it out. 2.3.6. Okay. 11. This. Remaining all things. With the numbers, all the procedure is given. How to insert the team, guys. Okay. How to insert the player, guys. How to get all the players' information. Everything is clearly mentioned over here. Right? Okay, boss. Fine. Mm, super. Okay. Now come here. Yeah, I have taken half an hour time, half an hour to 1 hour time, guys. Yeah. Okay, guys. Let's go for next concept, guys. Spring Boot security. 715. Spring Boot security. Right. Yesterday I supposed to launch this discussion. That's why here. Yes, we March 3rd, 2020. Super, guys. Now listen. Spring Boot security extension of what? Servlet security was. Anyone studies security in servlets? Anyone studied security in servlet JSP? Basic digest. Come on. Client cert. In my advanced Java session, I generally conduct those sessions, boss. I hope everyone studied that. Okay, long back, no problem. Long back, no problem. Not a issue. First of all, I'll revise some common discussion. Then I will link with Spring Boot. I have a small question, guys. I want to inject Spring Boot into servlet component. Is it possible? I want to inject Spring Boot into servlet component. Is it possible? Or servlet filter component? Are servlet filters also like servlets, na boss? They are also web component, right? I want to inject servlet Spring Bean object to servlet component or servlet filter component. Possible or not possible? Not possible. Why? Tell me. Can you tell me? Where servlet component will be there? Where exactly servlet component will be there? In servlet container. Where Spring Bean will be there? In IOC container, right? Where Spring Bean will be there? IOC container. I want reply from you people. Can we do injection on target Spring Bean, target object that is managed by servlet container, guys? That is seriously managed by servlet container, guys. I want reply. That is seriously managed by servlet container. Is it possible, boss? Not possible. Why, sir? Array, dependent class object can be injected to target class object when both are there in the same IOC container. When both are there in the IOC container. Check it out. Who is maintaining servlet filter component? Servlet container. Who is maintaining Java class acting as Spring Bean? IOC container. Injection is possible or not possible? Here Spring Bean injection to servlet filter component is not possible because servlet filter component is not taken as Spring Bean managed by IOC container. Understood the problem, guys? What is the solution for this? Servlet filter component should also move to IOC container, should make as a Spring Bean. Then other Spring Bean can be injected to servlet filter component. Yes, but one problem is there. If servlet filter is there in IOC container, do you think it can trap and take browser generated requests? Do you think it can trap and take browser generated requests? Say something, Ra Babu, please. Do you really think it can trap and take browser generated requests? No. No. Okay, one problem is solved, another problem is created. That means servlet filter is losing its originality or not? Servlet filter is losing its originality or not? I want reply. Servlet filter component is losing its originality or not? I want reply. So what should I do? I need to keep special component in servlet container, which takes the browser generated request on behalf of servlet filter and passes to what? Servlet filter that is acting as a Spring Bean. So that what happens, guys? I can enjoy servlet filter features. I can also enjoy other Spring Bean injection to servlet filter component. Who is that special component who stays in servlet container on behalf of servlet filter, traps and takes the request and passes to what? Servlet filter that is there in IOC container. And that special component is nothing but delegating filter proxy. What is that, guys? Delegating filter proxy. Check it out. In order to inject dependent Spring Bean to servlet filter component, we need to take servlet component, filter component also as Spring Bean in IOC container. Taken now? This is normal Java class acting as a Spring Bean, servlet filter component as Spring Bean. So injection is possible now, boss. Injection is possible. But problem is, if servlet filter is there in IOC container, do you think it can take browser generated requests? No. So what is who is doing that work? Delegating filter proxy. A ready-made servlet filter, Babu, predefined servlet filter, Babu, who takes the request on behalf of original servlet filter, passes them to servlet filter that is there in IOC container acting as a Spring Bean. That is there in IOC container acting as a Spring Bean. Okay, what is the condition for this? The condition for this, filter logical name, delegation filter proxy logical name, and servlet filter component bean ID must match. Delegating filter proxy logical name and servlet filter component bean ID must match. What is the filter logical name? F1. What is the bean ID? F1. Come on. Then, whenever delegating filter proxy traps and takes a request, it will get the idea. I should pass the request to a Spring Bean whose bean ID is also F1. Whose bean ID is also F1. Now look at the numbers, guys. Number one, request is given. Since delegating filter proxy is having /URL pattern, guys. Since delegating filter proxy is having /URL pattern. Are you understanding my statement, boss? /URL pattern. It traps and takes all the requests, trapped and taken. What is the filter name? F1. Then it will delegate. It will determine for pass the request to. It will delegate or pass the request to. Okay, delegation filter proxy is a ready-made filter. It's a class. It's a class. Passes the request to another filter component whose logical name is F1, whose bean ID is F1. Understanding my statement? Whose bean ID is F1. Yeah. What is the logical name, guys? What is the filter name? F1. What is the bean ID? F1. F1 matching na, boss? F1 is matching or not matching? F1 is matching or not matching? I want reply. F1 is matching or not matching? Yes, matching, boss. This is number 4, guys. This is number 4, right? Okay. Tell me. Then what happened, guys? Anyhow, the servlet filter and Java class as Spring Bean, are there in communication? Are there in communication? Because of that, control goes to what? Because of this, control goes to what? Another Spring Bean that is injected to servlet filter component. Okay, question number 1. Listen. Question number 1. Sir, it's a ready-made now. How can we give logical name? Though it is ready-made, in web.xml we can configure on our own. Come on, guys. Though it is ready-made filter, dispatcher servlet ready-made. Are we not configuring? Okay, that time we can give logical name. Suppose it is already configured. Some fixed logical name will be there. Na? We'll try to use that fixed logical name as the bean ID. What's there in that? We try to give that fixed logical name as the bean ID. Everyone getting my point, guys? Everyone getting my point? Suppose let us assume it is already configured through annotation. So it will be having some fixed logical name. We'll try to use same fixed logical name as the bean ID. Go by the concept. How does it reflect in programming? I will talk later. My question is very simple, Rababu. I want to inject Spring Bean to servlet filter. What should I do? I have to make servlet filter as a Spring Bean by moving to IOC container. then injection is possible. But does it take a request from browser? That servlet filter takes a request from the browser. Not possible. Not possible. Why? Because it is there in IOC content. It is not there in servlet content. What should I do? We have a special hero to handle this kind of situation. Who is that hero? Delegating filter proxy, a ready-made filter boss, who stays in servlet container, traps and takes all the requests and passes the request to what? Servlet filter, which is there in IOC container, whose logical name is matching with B9. Whose logical name is matching with B9. So here, who is the hero, guys? Not making servlet filter as Spring Bean is not a great task, Babu. Who is the hero? The hero is delegating filter proxy. Because this fellow is there, we are able to injection. We are able to do this injection by moving servlet filter to IOC container. What do you say, boss? See, team leader might have got award, guys. But at the end, he has to appreciate team members. Because team members are there, team leader has got award, right? Are you understanding my statement? Delegating filter proxy is a ready-made filter. We need not to create it. It's a ready-made one. And I already said ready-made servlet filter. Yeah, now look at the flow. Given request, who traps and takes the request? Delegating filter proxy traps and takes the request. Okay, what is the logical name? F1. So it will search for servlet filter whose bean ID is F1. Forward the request to servlet filter that is acting as a Spring Bean. Already to this servlet filter acting as a Spring Bean, another Spring Bean is injected. So communication happens with other Spring Bean or not. Super. If you take servlet filter component as Spring Bean in IOC container, then another dependent Spring Bean object can be injected to that servlet filter Spring Bean. But that servlet filter cannot trap and take the request given from browser window. Given from browser window. Given from browser window. For this, we need to configure special ready-made servlet filter component given by Spring Security module. That is what? Delegating filter proxy. Having URL pattern F/ and logical name matching with servlet filter component bean ID. And logical name matching with what? Servlet filter component bean ID. With respect to diagram, all the flows are given. Browser gives a request. Number 2, delegating filter proxy traps and takes a request. Number 3, delegating filter proxy delegates or passes the request to servlet filter component that is acting as a Spring Bean in IOC container. Yes, that is acting as a Spring Bean in IOC container. Done. The logics in servlet filter component executes. Servlet filter component uses the injected Spring Bean services through method calls. Here a lot of services are there. Those method, by calling method, it will use the services. Okay, boss. Keep that in mind. Keep that in mind. I will link with Spring Security or Spring Boot Security at right time. Security in web application is nothing but authentication and authorization. It's a combination of these two things, guys. What is authentication? Can you tell me? It's all about checking the identity of a user, boss. Authentication is all about checking the identity of a user. Authentication is all about checking the identity of a user, boss. Understanding my statement, guys? Yeah. How this authentication happens, boss? Through username, password, through thumb references, right? Through digital signatures, through iris na, boss. Through iris, you know. When you go to Aadhaar center, they will ask you to look into one device, iris device, right? They will ask you to look into one device called iris device, Ra Babu. Iris scanner, iris scanner. No, it's not biometric. Biometric means thumb impression only. Super. Checking the identity of user using username, password, thumb impression. Okay. Iris, digital signatures, and accept. Authorization is what? Checking the access permissions of authenticated users on different resources of the project. Here, the roles of the user will be verified before allowing the user to access different resources of the project. Before allowing the user to access different resources of the project. Different resources of the project. Everyone understanding my statement, guys? Okay. What do you mean by roles, guys? Roles are like designations given to users. Based on the roles of user, access permissions or different resources will be decided. I'll give best examples, guys. I'll give best examples. Bank employee and bank customer will use same mobile application. Same mobile application. But bank employee will get more options in the application compared to bank customer. Because when you log in by submitting customer username password, your role is customer. You will get less options to operate. When you log in by submitting manager username password, since your role is manager, you will get more options to operate. You will get more options to operate. Okay, as a customer role person, you will be having option to apply the loan. As a manager role person or employee role person, you will be having access to reject or what? Accept the loan. At least we can observe the loan. At least we can observe the loan status, right? See, guys? But all must be authenticated. All users must be authenticated, guys. All customers and employees of the bank must be authenticated to use the bank application. The users having customer role will get less access permission on the resources, whereas the users having employee role will get more access permission on the resources. Everyone getting my point, guys? Come on. It is always recommended to enable authorization of accessing resources, not based on the username. It is recommended to perform on the roles of the users. Anyone, can you understand the meaning of this? Don't give access permission. Don't enable authorization on the username. Always give that one on the roles of the username. Always give that one on the roles of the username. Everyone getting my point, boss? Yeah, now listen. Suppose you have started verifying authorization on the username, Raja. But Raja resigned from the company or Raja got promotion. In that place, Rani has come. Okay, we have to open the code and we have to modify the code now, boss. Suppose you are not giving authorization based on the usernames. You are giving same authorization on the, what is that? On the roles, boss. So whenever employee is registered, one role will be given. When he log in, his role will be collected. Accordingly, access permissions will be decided now, boss. Accordingly, access permissions will be decided so that tomorrow any employee resigns, any employee gets promotion, any employee quits the company. Is there any issue in the application code, guys? Come on, come on, come on. Array, I am logging, you are logging as into the Zoom, guys. I am logging, you are logging to Zoom, guys. Deva Prasad Das, how we assign role to anyone? At the time of registration, we assign role. Na? When employee got promotion, we'll increase the role. At the time of registration only, we decide the role, boss. Yes, no, na. At the time of registration only, we decide the role. Ultimately, we decide the role at the time of registration itself, right? Simple reason. Okay, to use a Zoom application, I should log in, you should log in. But I got what? Panelist permission. So when I got panelist permission, what happens, guys? I will have more options to control. You have a student permission. You have a less options to permit. Less options to operate now, boss. Both logged in. Both are authenticated. But since I am a panelist, I have operation. I have access permission to share my screen, to switch on camera, to switch off camera, to switch on your camera, to switch off your camera, right? So now tell me, guys, they have done this work based on my name or my role? In this class, Natras is the faculty, boss. Also in every subject, every classroom, Natras is the faculty, right? So they have done based on my role. What is the role? Faculty role. So that's what I'm trying to. Don't give access permission on the username. Always give access permission on the role carried by the username. On the role carried by the user. On the role carried by the user. Yes, boss. During authentication process, get the role of users, get the roles of user, and use those roles for authorization. Use those roles for authorization. Convinced, boss? Get the roles of user and use those roles for authorization. Understanding my point? Yeah, check it out. End user gives the username password. Okay, authentication happens, boss. Authentication happens. Listen. End user gives username password. Already registered username passwords are collected from Realm. Realm means small storage point, guys. Realm means small storage unit where username passwords are maintained. Where the username passwords are maintained. Where username passwords are maintained. Are you getting my point? End user gives username password, guys. Okay, here are the given username password. These are the username password collected from Realm. which are stored after registration, If authentication is successful, guys, okay, authorization to use the resource 1, resource 2, resource 3 will be decided. If there, listen, okay, if there, you will get access to the resource. If not there, you will get error. What is the error? 403 error. Understanding my statement, guys? 403 is the error. And when I say realm boss, it can be a file, it can be a properties file, it can be a database software, it can be any other LDAP server also possible, guys. LDAP server also can be taken. LDAP server also can be taken. In-memory cache also you can take, boss. In-memory cache also you can take. Realm means small database software or repository where the username, password, and roles are managed. Username, password, roles are managed. Right now, boss? Okay, boss. Now listen. If authentication fails, what happens, guys? What is the error we will get? If authentication fails, what is the error we will get, guys? 401 error if authentication fails. 401 error if authentication fails, guys. Next. Or not 3 error if authentication fails. Or not 3 error if authorization fails. Or not 3 error if authorization fails. 401 error if authentication fails, guys. Here is my resource 2, here is my resource 3. Okay, guys? Super. Next, guys. The components of security implementation. The important components required in security implementation. Authentication provider or authentication info provider. Authentication and authorization manager, guys. These two are important components. Okay. Yeah, 403 authorization, guys. Forbidden means this resource is forbidden for you, not visible for you. That's the meaning of that, right? Okay, guys. Tell me, authentication provider or authentication info provider. Next, authentication and authorization manager. Okay. What do you mean by authentication provider? It is a realm or repository where username, password, and roles will be stored, guys. It is a small realm where username, password, roles are managed and will be used during both authentication and authorization. Tell me, guys. Tell me, guys. Okay. End user given username, password will be compared with what? Already registered username, password that are collected from the realm. Authentication, right? Okay. Authorization is happening based on the role of the user. So there also authentication info provider is required. Here also authentication info provider is required. Everyone getting my point? Super. Tell me. Properties file, XML file, JSON file, database software, LDAP server, in-memory DB. In-memory DB, in-memory. These are the possible authentication providers, guys. These many things are there. What is the best, you know? LDAP server is the best. What is LDAP? Lightweight directory access protocol. Sir, how LDAP server is best? Can you tell me? How LDAP server is best? Can you tell me, guys? Okay. In all other places, if you forget the password, there is a possibility of recovering the password. But in LDAP server, if you forget the password, except resetting the password, no question of getting password back. No question of getting the password back. Clear, boss? No possibility of getting password back. Is that clear, guys? Come on. Okay, what is the specialty of LDAP server, guys? Vinod Kumar, I just introduced LDAP and he's asking how to connect. We'll see now, boss, one by one. We will see now, boss. Come on, my dear. Okay. So lightweight directory access protocol server, guys. What is the specialty in, you know? In other places, if you forget the password, there is a provision of collecting the password back. In LDAP server, if you forget the password, no question of getting the password back except resetting the password, changing the password. Okay, anyone is having account in Yahoo Rediff, guys, old days? There, if you forget the password, they will send your password to another email account. Another email account, from there you can recover the password, right? But look at the recent trend, boss. If you forget the password, are you getting any chance to recover the password? It makes you to reset the password. In LDAP server, gone. There's no question of getting password back. You have to reset the password. In all other authentication provider, we can get the password of users if they forget the password. Where in LDAP server, no provision to get the password, only resetting password is possible. Clear, my dear? That's why LDAP is good. That's why LDAP. And we are going to configure LDAP server in our applications. Everyone getting my point here, boss? What's the second one? Right now, Gmail, Facebook, everywhere using LDAP only. Everyone is using LDAP only, indirectly or directly. Yeah, authentication and authorization manager. It's a special component, guys, that takes the given username, password, verifies with authentication info managed, provider managed username, password. If everything goes smoothly, login successful. If not, 401 error. Later, same component takes the authenticated user, gets the role, checks the access permission given to that role. If if permission is there, requested resource will be allowed to use. If not there, 403 error comes. If not 3, you will get 403 error comes. Everyone getting my point? It is a component that verifies given username, password to verify authentication, and it gives 401 error if authentication fails. The same component collects the roles of authenticated user and perform authorization activities accessing different resources. For accessing different resources. For accessing different resources. Use 403 error if authorization fails. Use 403 error if authorization fails, boss. The authentication and authorization manager can be arranged in two ways, guys. The authentication and authorization manager can be arranged in two ways. Okay, number one, using programmatic approach. Number two, using declarative approach. Programmatic approach means what, guys? We should sit and develop the code, guys. Programmatic means programmer should write the code. We must write the code. Are you understanding my statement? That's a complex process and heavy process. Here we need to develop the logics of authentication and authorization manager explicitly by spending huge amount of time and brain manually, not recommended. Declarative approach. Declarative approach means what, guys? Already there, just activate it. Either through XML entries or through annotation. You just activate it. Either through XML entries or through annotation, you just activate it. That's it. Max web server application servers provide built-in security support by providing built-in authentication and authorization management by adding entries to web.xml file. In the Facebook, I have kept one opening of 6+ years, guys. I have kept one opening for 6+ years for US-based company, but you can work from India. You can work from India. Those who are interested, you can send your profiles to my email account. I'm giving different email account for that. natraz@gmail.com. nataraj@gmail.com. Clear, boss? Yeah, 5.56. 5.56. Anything is okay. All right, boss. By adding entries to web.xml file, we can activate that authentication and authorization managed. Okay, refer security in web application. In web application in Servlet JSP environment. By adding entries to web.xml, we can activate that authentication and authorization managed. Okay, guys. Super. Right, boss? Yeah. Sir, declarative is good, guys. Programmatic is bad, declarative is good. That's fine. That we already done in Servlet JSP level. Then why should go for Spring Security? That means there are some limitations with Servlet JSP level security. Though it is a declarative, some issues are there. Limitations of declaration approach for securing web application, working with Servlet containers applied, authentication and authorization manager. Come on, guys, are you listening my statement? Already we can do security in web application. Already we can see security in web application by using what, guys? Already we can see security in web applications Servlet JSP level. But I am saying that there is a Spring Security. I am saying that there is a Spring Security, right? So that means there might be some problems with the Servlet JSP level security, na boss? Only selected servers support this feature. Sometimes we need to purchase a license of costly servers. License of costly server or application server only to use this feature, only to use security feature. That's a really danger or not? That's a really danger or not, guys? Come on. Only few servers provide this security option. Luckily, Tomcat is supporting boss, but there's no guarantee other servers are supporting. So only to support security, we have to work with what? Costly web servers and application servers. Next. As of now, this facility is possible by adding additional entries in web.xml. That means not suitable for 100% code-driven configurations. Code-driven configurations and Spring Boot application. Tell me, guys, how to activate Servlet JSP security, guys? By adding entries in web.xml. But tell me, did we learn Spring MVC or Spring Boot MVC by entertaining XML? No. In Spring Boot, do you entertain XML? Please respond, Rababu. Please respond. In Spring Boot, do you entertain XML? No. So can we use this one in 100% code-driven configurations, Spring Boot applications? That's another reason. Next, guys. When we move from one server to another server, these configurations in web.xml may change. That means the entries in web.xml file related to security configuration is not portable across the multiple servers. Is not portable across the multiple servers. Got it, guys? Do you think they are portable across the multiple servers, guys? Do you really think they are portable across the multiple servers? I want reply. Do you really think they are portable across the multiple servers, guys? Do you really think they are portable across the multiple servers, guys? No, not at all. No, not at all. Super, guys. Tell me. No support for LDAP server as authentication info provider. No support for LDAP server as authentication info provider. So when you work with Servlet JSP security, unfortunately, we cannot use what? LDAP server as authentication info provider. To overcome all these problems, what I should use, guys? To overcome all these problems, what I should use? Okay, use Spring Security or Spring Boot Security. What are the advantages? I'm trying to give the reason of using this one, boss. Tell me, guys. Can be used in Spring MVC, Spring REST, Spring microservice application, and also in non-Spring based application. Also in non-Spring based applications, guys. Like Servlet JSP web application, JSF web application, and etc. This is the beauty, boss. Spring security not compulsory you should use in Spring application. Can also be used in non-Spring application like Servlet JSP application. The security configuration code are portable across the multiple servers. Let tell me 1 minute. Am I using server managed security here? No. Spring is bringing entire infrastructure on its own. So is there any dependency with the server? No. So that's why entries are portable across the multiple servers or not. We can use this security. We can use this security irrespective of whether underlying server supports the servlet container level declarative security service or not. Declarative security service or not. Spring security is no way related to servlet container security. Spring security is no way related to servlet container security. Are you understanding my statement, guys? Are you getting my point, guys? I want reply. We can use this security irrespective of whether underlying server supports servlet container level security or not. Spring security is nowhere related to servlet container security. Everything will be brought to by Spring security itself. Supports different authentication info provider, including LDAP server. We need not to arrange costly server only for security. Whatever problems are there with Servlet JSP security got solved in Spring security or not? Got solved in Spring security or not? Super guys. In Spring environment or Spring Boot environment, we can apply security on web MVC application or REST application or microservice application in three approaches. Using Spring security or Spring Boot security, guys. What happens? Here we can use form authentication, basic authentication. In basic authentication, what happens, boss? Tell me. In basic authentication, what happens, boss? Tell me. Browser generates the dialog box asking username password for validation. Browser generates the dialog box asking username password, right? Come on, guys. Come on. Form-based authentication, guys. Okay. And a browser-generated dialog box will be used to ask username password from end user. Form-based authentication. Ready-made or user-defined form page will be there asking username password. Okay. This can use what? In-memory DB or properties file or database software or LDAP server as the authentication info provider. Or LDAP server as the authentication info provider. Got it, guys? Super. Next, we can use JWT concept, guys. JSON Web Tokens. JSON Web Tokens. Losing its popularity because of OAuth, guys. Popularity. Okay. Or we can use using OAuth 2.x, open authentication, guys. Open authentication or open authorization, whatever it is. OAuth authentication or Okta. Okta. Or Okta is a commercial one, Babu. We cannot, without license, we cannot use it. Okta is a commercial one. Now listen, what's the specialty of this one, you know? We can use Facebook, Google, what is that? Twitter logins. Ticker logins. Twitter logins. Understanding my statement, guys? Yeah, we are going to learn all the three, guys, but more focus will be on security and OAuth. More focus will be there on security and we can use FB, Google, Twitter login for SSO feature. For what, guys? SSO feature. What is SSO? Single sign-on, boss. You sign in with what? Facebook, guys. Okay, using that, we can get into our application, right? We need not to have a separate user registration. Okay, when you sign in with Facebook, using that identity, we are trying to operate our application. Tell me, in most of the application like Redbus, what is that song application, Amazon, are we going to create your username and password separately? No, na? Already you have your account in Gmail. Already you have account in Facebook. Already you have account in Insta. Same account you will try to use to get into those applications now, boss. Google is providing nearly 20 plus services. Are you going to log in with every service separately with separate username password? No, you log into Gmail account and you will use the same identity to operate other services offered by Google na boss. Other services offered by Google na boss. Single sign on. Single sign on feature boss. Single sign on feature. Yes. Single sign on feature. Everyone convinced, my dear? Got the clarity? Everyone convinced, my dear? Got the clarity? Okay. Nandini madam. Okay. You are using Okta in our project for authentication. I said. That's what. Yes, boss. Okay. Read this document before coming for tomorrow's session, guys. Yeah, I will introduce Spring Boot security officially in tomorrow's session. Right, guys. Satish Gowda. Okay, in Spring Cloud, I promised two topics to discuss. Spring Cloud API Gateway and Spring Boot integration with ELK. Elastic Log Stash. ELK. What is that? Elastic Search, Log Stash, and Kibana. I'll share the project, don't worry. Okay, this part I will explain in tomorrow's session along with more other details, guys. Thank you. LDAP is just to LDAP is only for storing data. Is not for security. Is not for security, guys. Is not for security. Srikanth, delegating filter proxy is a filter now, boss. Filter means it's an intercepting filter design pattern, right? Intercepting filter design pattern. Intercepting filter design pattern. Okay. All right, boss. Thank you. We'll meet tomorrow and we will discuss many things related to security.